It's the Center Fantasy Football Podcast.
Welcome to the party, pal! Yes! Yes! Yes, this is my favorite part of the game.
Analyzing all of the league matchups week to week.
You can't win!
Get him a body bag! Finish him!
That is a bit above average.
I said this sucks, and basically so do you.
And discussing the boom, bust, and hidden gem players throughout the league.
We ain't found shit!
What the hell is Brett Favre doing here?
I'm in town to play the Dolphins, you dumbass.
Dan Marino should die of gonorrhea and rot in hell. Laces out.
Touchdown!
And here's your host,
Allow myself to introduce myself.
David Harbatkin.
Hello and welcome to the Center Fantasy Football Podcast for, what week are we in? 10? 9? I don't even know. I haven't been paying attention to this season. There's an alert for something. Joining me on the program is a half asleep, half-faced Mr. Commissioner Manny Friedman over there in the corner. His left eye will be joining us for this. Left Eye Lopez.
What's up, guys?
You have your what is it? Your Josh Allen PJs on?
Well, I threw them all away after last week's performance. Dreadful performance.
You're so funny.
And then also joining me on the program is the coach of the Hackettstown Hagglers, Mr. Gazeletsky.
Well, Nick Zaberi, I'm glad that Lamar actually got some points out of that putrid game we just watched. So hopefully, you know what, you deserve to win after this horrific nightmare that I saw this Thursday. That was an embarrassment.
Well, before we go through this week's games, let's go through last week's games. Actually, this will refresh it for myself because I just don't know what's going on. I've been taking ridiculous trips back and forth to Miami, but this weekend I'm actually going to a real place. I'm going to Green Bay to root against Whalers players in person. All right, so where do we want to start? Where shall we start?
Wherever, I don't care.
Yeah,
We'll just get our game over with.
Your game? Oh, yeah, you lost. Look, you lost to Zamunda. What happened here?
Don't remind him of that. It's not good.
It was horrible.
9 points. Oh, yeah, that's what happened last week. There was a bunch of really weird low scores last week. So the finest end up losing 104.54 to 95.58. Josh Allen 9.56. No wonder why you burned your pajamas.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, Diggs had 14.5, but wow. Sutton 3.9.
If I had the defensive Josh Allen on the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'd probably score more points than 9.
Yeah,
because Josh Allen, the defensive Josh Allen had, I think, a interception, a sack, and a forced fumble on the Buffalo Josh Allen. It's crazy.
9-6 is the final in that game. Wow, that's pretty pathetic.
I gotta hear that at work all day.
Who scored now? What bet did you just lose? Melvin Gordon gets 17.5. Gainwell, you picked him up out of my trash can for only 6.3 points. Andrews 9.4. Kirk got 16.42, 10 from the kicker and 8 from the defense. For Zamunda, he was led basically. I mean, this is what a 36.64 for Lamar Jackson. Other than that, nothing. Amari Cooper 5.7, 4.3 for Lamb. Wow, that's really paying off for them over there with all that Dallas heaviness. 10.3 for the leftover Harris, 10.7 from D. Williams in Kansas City, 7.3 from Goddard.com, 8.6 from Thielen, 10 from the Vegas kicker, and 11 from the Kansas City defense. I don't know. So, yeah, it was low scores across the board last week, right?
Yeah. So, I was expecting good things this week because I thought Allen and Diggs would have a great game against Jacksonville. That didn't pan out, obviously. Melvin Gordon, you can't expect more than 17 points out of him. Gronky Kong dropped Jordan Howard, so I picked him up on the bench. But Yahoo projected him to get like 4 points all week, and Gainwell is projected to be more of a pass catcher on third downs and like stuff like that. But then Howard ended up stepping in, and had the main role, and he scored an early touchdown.
Yeah, I could have told you that the week before. That's exactly what that piece of shit did to me the week before.
Exactly. I don't know what Yahoo has against Jordan Howard, but that's why those alerts that you hear are from ESPN and not from Yahoo.
What are they telling you to not play Josh Allen this week? What's going on?
Well, I get my fantasy updates from sources other than Yahoo right now.
No, is that where Gronky Kong's getting everything? Because this guy is ridiculous. He had something today. There was like this obscure fucking player that I was looking at that I'm like, oh, nobody's gonna, and I was waiting to see what was happening with the COVID diagnosis for, this person and that and whatever I needed to see with my bench. And he goes and picks him up. I'm like, where is this fucker getting his information from? I mean, I know where I'm getting mine from, but I'm like, but where I'm getting it from is, I'm not saying, but like, fuck this guy.
He'll be on the podcast next week.
Yeah.
So,
will he? You finally found someone off the street to play him?
No, you know what? I'm finally starting to believe this is him because he does not play anything like, unless you have like dual personalities, because this guy is ridiculous. He's ridiculous. Yeah. He's ridiculous on the waiver wire. He's all over the place.
He is a waiver wire fanatic.
I cannot keep up with him. Nobody can.
He's crazy on the waiver wire for sure.
I know. I don't even remember who the guy was. He was so obscure. I don't even remember the guy's name. But I had him on my watch list because I'm like, maybe I'll pick him up depending on what happens. It turns out I don't need him, but I'm like, how the fuck did he find this guy? I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I can't. I'm gonna listen to whatever chime goes off when he's talking next week because I'm very curious to hear what. He better silence his phone because I will get data analysts from the FBI to decipher whatever the hell it is because I need to find out what this guy's doing. It's ridiculous.
Well, I feel like he's even more of a waiver wire psychopath this year because he just on Sundays he basically dresses his 2-month-old boy in football pajamas, and then he just like sits on the couch and just studies all day.
Josh Allen
all the game,
or does he have different pajamas?
And he's on his paternity leave, so
I can't keep up with somebody on paternity.
He knows every injury and every kind of obscure player out there. So
can I petition my congressman to get rid of parental leave? Because I mean, this is really screwing up our fantasy league. What are your politics? I don't know. My politics align with whatever fantasy football helps me. I don't even care what happens for the society. I care about what happens to my fantasy football team.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I mean, I had a few bench blunders, but I was happy to see if I started Howard instead of Gainwell, I still think I would have fell slightly short. And if I started Cook instead of Andrews too. So, and I wasn't going to start Mooney over Sutton anyway, but if I did that, obviously I would have won, but
But you didn't.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. I don't really have any other analysis for this. I'm just doing this so that Whalers can stop bothering me. And Eugene too. Although Eugene is too pissed at democracy at this point. All right, moving on. We can move on to let's just do my game. I'm actually shocked that I won my game.
Yeah, me too.
I think everybody is, except for Cyberdyne, who doesn't pay attention to anything. Yeah, what happened here? So I had I started Mike White, who went down with an injury. I had your leftover soup, which is just
why would you play Clam Crab?
Because
lovely.
I thought with Mike White like on fire, he's gonna be like I was gonna taste your soup, but I didn't have a spoon.
He was
hard. But thank God Josh Taylor is not with 34 points. I mean, basically Taylor just took this team on its back neck that week. Robert Woods got 17 points. That was good. McCaffrey in his return got 14, which is not bad. Conklin 9.5. Beasley with 11, and then 12 from the Arizona defense. And then Lombardi just, he was keeping pace. So Mixon had 28 points, 11 for Eckler. That was the problem. He didn't have that there. And then Galladay really hurt. He was just below, what I was at. And then AJ Brown didn't get, in that Rams game on that Sunday night, I thought I was in trouble, but when it started, and then he didn't get anything out of it. And Derek Carr played and only got 12.34. So I'll take it. I think I had a bench blunder in this too, didn't I? Or did I? I don't even know who's on my team. No, I didn't. I actually played it perfectly. Way to go. All right, could be. Oh, he had a bench blunder. That's right. Kirk Cousins. If he would have played Kirk Cousins, he would have 25. No, I don't think he would have won. But it would have been close. Or I would have had to worry. All right. Good win for us.
Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts?
No, just a good win for you.
Cool. All right, moving on. Let's move on to you. The Hagglers versus the named of the week, the underperforming Whalers. Wow, he is underperforming here. Holy crap, 106.18 to 84.76. What happened here?
Well, a lot of bad things.
Not for you. 7.38 for Burrow. Yeah, you were mad about that.
Oh my God. It was a nightmare.
Stafford was even worse. Well, he wasn't even worse. He was actually better, but like the fact that it only had 15.06, and then 20 for Malcolm Brown, 10 for Devontae Adams. But that was the week with with Aaron Rodgers in the heat of controversy. Cordell Patterson with 19.6, 16.3 for Waddle, 15.2 for Cook, 5.3 for Aaron Jones. Ty Johnson, you went to fill in for the role of Henry. Whatever. Isn't this the guy that we made fun of the lightning rods for having all that time?
Yes.
And that's who you got to replace Henry. Okay. 6.5 for Mick Nichols, who was actually the back that replaced Henry. And yet he tried to use him against you, and that did not work out.
That did not work at all.
No. Kittle comes back with 20.10 points. Gaiseki with 9.4. Oh wow, you still got this Elijah Mitchell. Did you hold on to him this whole time? Like, is this that guy that you bid all that money for in like week 2? You still have him?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Eli Mitchell? Oh yeah, he's somehow still on the team.
He played and outplayed his Claypool. Wow, look at that. 0 for Zerline. Did he have COVID for the game or
no, that's when the Cowboys got their asses kicked. 27 to nothing.
Right. He just has COVID now. Okay.
So they just were going for 2.
And then 2 for the Dallas defense. Oh yeah, and you had Dallas, the defense on the other side. And then 4 for Indianapolis on the other side. Yeah, wow. This is you gotta, all right, so you don't have Henry anymore, so that's gotta be not good news for you, but you still pulled out a win.
Let me just tell you.
What?
It's not optimal.
Yeah, he won, but I don't know if winning is sustainable in the Hagglers' future.
I've seen the Hagglers win with far less.
Oh yeah, Dave knows.
Is Flacco going to make a return? Is he still?
he just signed with. I think he just signed with the Jets.
Yeah, there you go. I think I did read. Is he going to come back? Is he going to come back for one last run?
Is Gates still around?
I don't know. Is he going to come back for one last run? Get the old crew together for one last
this
job.
week, take the Hagglers' approach. Last week at work, he was demoralized with the Henry injury, with the Michael Thomas news. He didn't want to talk fantasy football at all. So this week, I'm not talking fantasy football at all and see if I can scratch out a win on Sunday.
Is that your strategy?
That's my strategy.
I don't know if the not talking about it is what causes a win or not. I have no idea.
Well, I'm going to be demoralized about my loss all week, and then, hopefully that will, give me some Haggler luck.
I don't know if
last week I was riding high. I was approaching, one of the first 2 positions, and was winning like 5 of the last 6 weeks I won. So,
well, at least you're not the underperforming Whalers.
Yes. Yes, I'll take that.
There you go. Bench blunders. I mean, there's sort of some, but Matt Ryan with 32. You had a bench blunder there with 32 for Ryan and only 7 for Burrow. Clearly played the wrong quarterback there. Where is Michael Thomas? Is he just no longer on the team? Did you finally give up on him?
Michael Thomas is in the garbage can. He's done for the year.
Oh, is he?
Oh, yeah. The surgeons announced he had a setback on his ankle, and he announced himself in a press conference he's done for the year.
I must have missed 60 Minutes. Wow.
Really good stuff.
Oh, wow.
Thanks for Kirk and Andrews. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for anybody else want free players for nothing?
That trade really paid off.
Free players for nothing.
Well, you can have Marquise Brown and Mike Gesicki for free after tonight. Those two losers had 20 targets between them and 6 points.
We'll get into that in a second because you read me the stat line and I was pretty amused by that. But let's go through the rest of these games. The Lightning Rods play Gronky Kong. This was yes,
there was one bright spot.
So I actually was paying attention because my game was finally over by this point, and I was out to dinner. And yeah, this came out of nowhere. Lightning Rods win this game 148.74 to 138.68. Was he not talking about fantasy football this week? Is this why he's gone absolutely insane this week? Because he lost a game that he shouldn't have?
I don't know, but he was texting me on Sunday. Why the fuck does Connor keep scoring? Connor going nuts. He was up big after the 1:00 games, and he was projected to, destroy the Lightning Rods. But then Connor just went nuts.
Yeah, 40 points.
And then Boswell and Friedermuth. I've never heard of that guy. They went crazy on Monday night.
Yep.
And it just completely turned.
Yep. It completely turned his stomach. 20.5 points for Cup in a terrible game also, but 7.6 for Moore. My favorite meme that's going around currently is about Sam Darnold. It said he had an incomplete fracture. Or it's an incomplete fracture for Sam Darnold. The response was, "This man can't even complete a fracture." Chubb with 30.3, 15.2 for Booker, 9.2 for Pitts, 10.2 for Bateman. Who is that? Is it Justine or Jason? 7 for Bat and 20 for the New England defense. Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, Mahomes had 12.44. Keenan Allen was 22.4, 17.4 for Pittman. Zach Moss only had 4.4 in that hard game. Josh Jacobs with 13.5. And then, like you said, Fryermouth and Connor and Boswell. Those three really made the difference right there. 21, 40, and 16. Wow.
40 for Connor. Woo!
Yeah, that guy has been
usually if a team scores 20 on the defense, like you could just pencil a win. So it's crazy.
Hockey traded with him the week I was playing him because he needed a running back, that bastard. And it ends up burning Gronky Kong.
So it ends up helping you.
Yes.
So in a roundabout way, Dr. Hockey helped you.
He did.
All right, moving on to the second to last game. Or is there anything else on this? I don't think so.
Any bench blunders?
Any bench blunders on this? No. 22.6 for D. Smith. I guess could have played for DJ Moore. I don't know.
That's the guy Nick gave him. Yeah. That was the trade.
He could have played him in the flex for Bateman. That would have been 12 more points.
I mean, he could have played him also for DJ Moore. I mean,
yeah.
DJ Moore was looking really hot for most of the season, but now that team looks like hot garbage. And now they got Cam Newton back, so we'll see how that impacts anything. I don't know. Hopefully it all just goes through McCaffrey at this point. That's what I'm hoping. Okay. Moving on to the second to last game. Taylor Trey team did even worse than the Whalers. Wow. Look at these bottom dwelling scores. And the Wakanda starting to make a statement. the statement is I'm tied with everybody else at the bottom.
I
120,
need him to make a statement this week.
123.24 to 77.62 in this game. What happened here? I mean, wow, these are some low numbers. 16.2 for Tannehill, 11.6 for Cooks, and then just 8.9, 8.8, 0.3 from Edmonds. Yeah, Connor got all of that. 9.4, 9.6, 9, and a 4. And then you go over to Dr. Hockey's side, and it's 35.64, only 7.8 for Williams. I mean, so Herbert's been getting the points. Mike Williams has not been keeping up the pace that he was earlier when he got him. I think Mike Williams was the one who was in the trade with Connor. Am I right?
I think so.
Yeah. So it's interesting. Now it's actually it certainly paid off for hockey earlier in the season. Now it's definitely paying off for the Lightning Rods. T. Higgins with 13.8, 20.4 for Kamara, 16.3 for Freeman, 16.2 for Waller. Now that Ruggs is gone, 2.1 for Boyd and 12 from Gay, and -1 for the Cincinnati defense. Ooh, but it didn't matter because when you only put up 77 points, it doesn't take much to come away with the win. So, yeah, I don't know what there's not much to analyze here. I mean, Tillett just didn't have it this week, and then he had no bench blunders. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. It looks like a 0, but it's an 8. But I don't think that would have made much difference. So no, there's literally no double digits to be found on the bench. So no bench blunders here. That's the maximum that this guy could have gotten this week, 77.62. Ouch. All right. Moving on to our fans game. Well, the other fan, he actually has not been, I mean, he's been complaining that we're not on, but Whalers has really taken the whatever. But Dave's Secret Crush ends up beating Nick and Jamie 102.20 to 92.88 on the back of Daniel Jones getting 10, 11.7 from Deontay Johnson, Renfro with 17.9, Najee Harris with 16.8, 15.7 from Gaskin, Higbee with 10.10, Judy with 12.9, 1, and then 6 for the defense. For Nick and Jamie, 22.8 for Prescott, 7.3 from Tyreek Hill, 11.3 from Samuel, 12.6 from Elliott, 12.9 from Singletary. Excuse me. Kelsey with 17.8, 4.10 from Landry, 6 from Sanders, and -2 from the defense. I mean, this was a reasonably close game. Once again in a very low scoring week. So, I mean, were there any bench blunders in this? Oh, Naeem Hines. Look at that. Wow. So 20 points for Hines, and Taylor got like, what was it, 34? I mean, like there was like plus 50 points over there in that game for Indianapolis. I mean, obviously that would have done the difference, but I mean, are you going to really play him? I don't think that he's been doing much. Yeah, he hasn't been doing it. I mean, so technically a bench blunder in hindsight, but not in whatever. Is your one eye closed, the one that's on the camera?
He's just asleep. He's out.
Oh.
Oh, wait, who, what?
Yeah.
What's the answer?
All right. I may have to pass on this. I'm exhausted.
Do you have a lot of penises drawn on your face in college?
What?
Who? As Spencer says, what? What?
All right.
All right, Freeman, get some sleep, buddy.
Yeah, go get some.
All right.
He's traveling tomorrow as well. Where are you going?
I'm going to Columbus.
Yeah, well, who wouldn't want to go there?
And in the Sealy mattress advertisement for this podcast, Manny testing out the mattress firm.
All right, have a good night, guys. I'll tune in and check out the remainder of it.
All right,
I'm sure you will. You'll watch it on the plane. Everybody will. All right.
All right. See you later, guys.
All right, peace out.
All right, so let's go to the transactions. I mean, so did anything happen happen in the transactions this week? We're just gonna breeze through. We're not gonna take a break. So today, so 11. What's today's date? Was there even any this week?
As the season progresses, there's less and less transactions.
Yeah, this was from last week. Yeah, and there's just not much. I mean, so this was the guy, Dan Arnold. I actually researched him. I'm not going to say where, but like the fact that he found this guy is just unbelievable to me. And then Gronky. I mean, how many transactions is this guy up? 70 transactions.
He leads the league in transactions. I usually lead the league in transactions.
You usually do, and he's like almost doubling. You're at 45. I'm at 46. I'm actually beating you in transactions, and he's at 70. That's absurd. I mean, he really is. He's at
a point right now where how many transactions can you make?
I don't even know. Is he just I don't
know. Whole team over every week?
I don't know. Petition your congressman to get rid of paid parental leave because this guy has clearly too much time on his hands, at least until his leave is up. And then after that's done, we can have it back for the rest of society. But this guy is a menace to this league. He has too much time. All right. But you remain in first place. Look at that. Wow.
Thanks to the lightning rods. He's getting a Christmas card.
So yes, then you have the 6-3 teams, which are Gronky Kong and Dave's Secret Crush. The Lightning Rods ends up at 5-4, 5-4 for the finest, and 5-4 for the 1603ers. Look at that. And then we get to on the bubble teams, the 4 and 5s, which is the Blues and Tillit Trey. And then we get down to everybody else, 3 and 6. Nick and Jamie is the highest of that, followed by the underperforming Whalers, the Zamunda Lions, and the Wakanda Panthers. And as we're in week 10, is that correct? Those 3 and 6 teams have to start putting together some wins. You can only underperform for so long before it really starts to become a problem. But yes, we have. So how many more? So week of 10. So there's 4 more weeks, right?
Yes.
Including 4, 10, 11, 12.
No, 5. Well, there's technically 5.
Right, because we're still in week 10. All right. But yes, we're getting down to stretch time. And as far as money goes, Gronky Kong has also spent a ton of money. You're the Whalers and you are out of money.
Oh, Whalers is actually out of cash as well. Okay.
Who did he even get that he paid all this cash for to underperform? I don't know. All right. Well, whatever.
I don't know. All right.
Whatever. I don't know. Let's go after Manny's game. The finest play Tillit Trey this week. Manny, your thoughts? I mean, they'll be as good as when you were actually on. There you go. Okay. So far, we're recording this on Thursday night after the Thursday night game. Andrews with 18.3 and 5 for Tucker. So his original projection was 140.77. He's at 139.53. So he's basically, at where he was, 23.3 points total. So far he's essentially holding where he should be. For Tillit, the projection is 125.5. So he's got Tannehill versus New Orleans. So here's the thing about Tennessee. I mean, everybody said, oh, well, they're going to, pass a ton more now that Henry's gone, but they just don't run any offense. I mean, that's basically what they do. Like, I don't know what's going on with that team.
No, they rely on their defense to give them great field position.
Yeah, and then, so I don't know. I mean, I know that he's suffering from the Kyler Murray injury. Is he's still questionable? Is he remain sidelined for Thursday's practice? So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, but that's really hurting Tillit at this point. And with a 4 and 5 record, I mean, he still has some wiggle room, but this is a bad time of year to get that. I think Allen will have certainly a bounce back game against the Jets, as will Diggs. Mike Evans versus Washington. That's a great matchup there. Davis, also in the Buffalo game. I mean, Corey Davis has been coming on, hasn't he, lately? Never mind, he has not. So that's going to but Godwin. So it's Evans versus Godwin. So that's interesting. We have the two playing against each other, and it very in a game that's very advantageous for both of them playing against Washington. So that's kind of a wash, but Diggs will obviously should play better than Corey Davis. Allen will probably play better than Tannehill. Gordon and Swift, I have probably more faith. Is Robinson back? Let's see. He's still got a questionable tag on him. Return to practice Thursday. So I mean, he certainly needs him to come back. I don't think Schultz is going to get 18.3. Mike Carter, he's the one that's been good lately. So, and Sutton was the one that got 3 points last week, right? So if Manny continues to play Sutton, I think that maybe he'll allow a little window for Tillett to come back. But otherwise, I think Manny's got this one based on the projection. I'm certainly going to go with him. I mean, unless Kyler Murray comes back and there's like a whole, but the way things are looking now. Your eyes are open. You could open your mouth as well.
I agree.
Living up to your stereotype.
All right, let's move it along.
Okay. Let's go with your game. I know you have some things to say about this one.
Zamunda. Oh yeah. For those of you who actually are up to speed and watched the Thursday night game, I don't know why you bothered because it was a joke. Me and Nick are off to a pretty bad start. Well, at least a late touchdown was thrown by Lamar. I don't know, spoiler alert, in a horrid game where I don't think if you had anybody, they actually did well. The Thursday night game was absolutely putrid. And this week looks to be it's Dallas heavy. Nick has all of his games on like Sunday and Monday night. I kind of never really seen an opponent that has done that.
I mean, I do think that the Gesicki stat line is one of the most amazing stat lines I've ever seen. 7 targets, 7 targets, 0 receptions.
No injuries, mind you. He played the whole game.
He couldn't catch a single ball and was targeted 7 times. That's impressive.
Now, most of the time when you see garbage like that, the guy had 2 targets, 3 targets, 4 targets. Somebody who's getting 7 targets, he's usually the defense can't cover him. Like Devontae Adams. You don't normally see, 7 targets and not a point. Why would you keep throwing to him? Let's move on to another game quickly.
Well, right now, the original projection was 120.07 to 122.43. The live projection is 101.76 to 110.86. So it's still really close. I mean, in terms of score, it's 9.7 to 17.42. And he's already had his quarterback go. Now, granted, you've already had 0. You've had a goose.
Yeah, we've spotted him a player, basically.
Yeah, you spotted him a go dirt. I think, I don't know. This is pretty. I think this is going to be a low scoring game. We'll see
this
what
is
happens.
going to be a hell of a low scoring game.
And it's a lot of Atlanta versus Dallas involved in this game as well. So.
Oh, yeah. This game will be decided in that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, because you've got Ryan going for you at quarterback, and he's got Cooper and Lamb. You also have the Dallas defense. So, yeah, a lot going on. A lot in this game for you guys riding on that game. So, clearly we know your attention will be focused. All right, Lightning Rods versus Nick and Jamie. So Lightning Rods at 5-4, and the 3-6 Nick and Jamie. I mean, this could be kind of a knockout blow right here. So Mahomes at Las Vegas versus Prescott versus Atlanta. Now, this should be a positive matchup for Dallas, but and Prescott, but we'll see. The way things have been going. Keenan Allen versus Minnesota versus Tyreek Hill at Vegas. So Lightning Rods will be throwing to Nick and Jamie's wide receiver. Debo versus Metcalf. Metcalf should have a boost in his numbers now that Russell is back. I will be at that game, actually. I'm quite excited to go to Lambeau. And then Jacobs versus Connor. Let's see if Connor can sustain all of this. I mean, against Carolina, he very well might be able to. Ezekiel Elliott, once again, another Dallas player involved. And Singletary, Hawkinson at Pittsburgh. Kelsey has been really not doing well, has he?
No.
I mean, 4 points. I mean, he has some weeks but he's not he's not been the Kelsey of old. Pittman has been fantastic this year. So and at Jacksonville now, I mean, we'll see if Jacksonville plays like they did last week. But on paper, if they don't play like last week, then that's definitely a net positive for him there. Jacoby's and Myers law firm, just getting worse. They're playing versus Cleveland, Boswell versus Suckup, and the Baltimore defense already has 5 versus the New Orleans defense. I would say that I think Lightning Rod. So the original projection was 136.07. It remains there as there's nothing that's happened. The original projection for Nick and Jamie is 146.44. It is now dropped to 142.76. They are still remain the favorite for the projections, but I don't know. I mean, if Connor can keep up what he's been doing, I mean, I think I'd have to give certainly with Pittman at the flex, I think I'm going to give the edge to Lightning Rods here.
Oh, the way Pittman's been rolling, I would have to agree with that. Yeah,
Pittman and Connor. I mean, those two guys are really hot right now. And then Tyreek Hill is getting his passes from Mahomes. So if they do any, I don't know. I mean, Prescott does have a good, matchup. I'm still going with the Lightning Rods here.
I'm definitely going to Lightning Rods because after the stinker that Dallas put up against Denver, who knows what they're going to do against Atlanta?
Yeah.
And Denver sucks.
And then the Battle of Gronky Kong versus Wakanda.
Let's go Wakanda.
Right now, Wakanda has the 59% favorite. So the original projection was 120.52. The live projection is 118.67. Original for Gronky Kong, 107.19. And it remains there. However, he has no second running back, which I'm sure he's on the horn right now to get. Bateman with 14 on his bench so far. He's got a whole bunch of COVID stuff. I mean, who knows what this guy's going to do. He's picking up players left and right. And I'm sure he'll put somebody rando in there. Anyway, I think Waller has gotten a boost since Ruggs is out.
He's not just out; he's done.
I'm aware.
He's more than just out.
Yeah, I know.
He's out of the league.
He's out of freedom. I mean, there's he's out. Collins. I mean, why is he playing Collins? Is Carson? What's going on?
He's got reasons for everything.
What's going on here?
He's a true NFL insider.
He's on whatever. Okay, sure. I don't know what's happening there. Tim Patrick. I think he just picked up. I mean, what's going on here? I don't know what's happening here. I mean, if Herbert can do stuff against Minnesota, then that'll be good. I don't. I mean, Kupp still. I mean, in a terrible game, Kupp still got 20.
Oh yeah, that's the problem with Cooper Kupp.
I don't know. I mean, obviously Gronky Kong is favored, but can't make a full analysis until I see.
Well, Odwin is related to Gaten Casimir, so maybe it runs in the bloodline.
Maybe we'll see. Yeah, there's not enough information to make a prediction, but the fact that he's so I don't know. Why not? We'll go with hockey at this point, but I don't think
I'm going with hockey. I need hockey to win.
I know you need to. All right, moving on to me versus the underperforming Whalers. So Stafford's playing on Monday night at San Francisco. Wentz versus Jacksonville. So this made me nervous. This was one of the things where he had the opportunity to pick up that rando guy, whatever his name is, Tom Arnold or whatever. So Wentz had a questionable that popped up, and I'm like, what's going on here? And turns out that the questionable is because his wife is pregnant. And they didn't know if he was going to go, if she delivered or something during the game. And then he said something like, I'm playing even if she delivers. So I think they can wipe off that questionable, but whatever. Robert Woods is playing in that game. hopefully having Stafford throw him touchdowns and not to anybody else. Lockett at Green Bay.
So you heard about their latest blockbuster signing, right?
OBJ.
Yeah, so I think that's definitely going to affect his targets.
Yeah, but is it going to affect him the first week that he's there?
Maybe not.
I mean, like, he just signed today, right? Like, I mean, what is he going to run? Like the get open route? I mean, how
in the long term, that definitely has implications.
What?
In the long term, it definitely is going to affect the Rams.
It does, yeah. But I mean, they had Deshaun Jackson also for a couple of those weeks as well. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it might affect this week in that, Stafford might just try to throw to him, but that's what we're rolling with right now. We'll see what research I could do over the weekend. Tyler Lockett, I'm playing him, even though it's not necessarily that great a matchup, but I am going to be there and I need something to root it for. I can't just root against his players, Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams. Is Rodgers back? What's going on with that? I know that Wilson's back, but I haven't heard the latest. I think he's back, right?
He's eligible to come back on Saturday.
Right.
So it's just a matter of, does he need to ever practice?
I don't know. I'm sure all of the I'm sure he's done a lot of research and whatever else Plus he's been dodging the pitchforks and everything from society over the last week. He's got plenty of whatever. Okay. So yeah, I mean, look, Taylor and McCaffrey, not necessarily. I mean, we'll see how that goes. That's definitely a good running back lineup. But Aaron Jones and Fournette is great too. This is actually the interesting thing about this matchup is we made the trade a while ago. It involved Kittle and McCaffrey. Font's down at the bottom. Actually, I think that he's going to come in and probably play in the flex for Conklin. But anyway, I still don't know what's happening with Hopkins. But the point is that this trade happened weeks ago. We traded people that ended up going on IR. And we're finally both getting back the fruits of the trade are coming back. I mean, Kittle came back last week, but essentially this week. So we'll see. It's a good test to see how that panned out because both ends of it, like the things that we had hoped for are now in the game. So we'll see how that goes. He has my old kicker with the young ho. Folk always has the questionable. Belichick is just annoying. Arizona against Carolina, that's a good matchup for me. And then Indianapolis versus Jacksonville. Current projection is 140. Well, sorry. Original projection 144.82 to 131.95. The live projection is 140.34 to 131.95. This is actually one of the higher projections I've had in a long time, and that's buoyed by the fact that McCaffrey is back and actually back, and they're giving him a higher projection. But my projections have been in like the 101 to 110 range lately.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, so this is the first time I've seen myself even remotely boosted up. And if he can meet those numbers, which Taylor certainly has, and if McCaffrey can as well, then that certainly keeps us in the game. The fact that Waddle only had 10.10 points. Oh,
my goodness, double digits in that horrid nightmare.
I heard there was like he had 4 receptions for 61 yards. So, but no TDs. So yeah, there's that. You can make the prediction. I always, predict that my opponent will win. Therefore, I will predict Whalers. But you can say whatever you'd like.
I would say that, this is going to be a little close to call, actually.
Yeah, this is actually a good game. This is a very interesting.
This is a good one. Can Whalers get off the schneid? I mean, he had a little bit of a low point total last week. So I'm going to favor you right now. But we'll see if McCaffrey actually plays. He's actually back.
He's actually back. He played last week. They kept him on a.
Was it a bitch count or was it a full?
So he played on a partial bitch count, but they limited the amount of times that he was in the game. But every time he was in the game, they basically gave him the ball. So, I think that he could do pretty well this week. Hopefully,
okay.
Knox is back too. So that's good. So we'll see. I mean, we have some tough matchups. Like the receivers have tough matchups, and like you said, I mean, I don't know the impact of OBJ on Woods, and Woods has been great lately. So I mean, that definitely is something that we're gonna have to think about. Julio down by the schoolyard, injured himself in practice again, and
yes, unfortunately, that doesn't really bode well for him on your team.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Not that it matters anymore because I've just about had it with that guy. He's Michael Thomas. He can hang out with Michael Thomas in your trash can because that guy has just been annoying the hell out of me. Yeah, that's it. All right, let's move on to the last game between the Blues and the Fan. Oh, so the two coworkers going at it. The current or the original projection 140.92 to 103.45. The current projection 133.05 to 103.45. 5.5 points for Gaskin in that horrid game, so he's underperforming there. But Lombardi looks like he has buys all over the place. So he's got Mixon on a buy, Galladay on a buy. I mean, Galladay on a buy doesn't really hurt him. Thankfully, he didn't play Devontae Parker, who had 0. Also on IR, but deciding not to use the IRs. He's too good for the IR spots. Also, he has 2 Miami receivers on IR on his bench. Is he just collecting Dolphins over there? I don't know.
Well, he can have Gaiseki if he wants him.
There you go. Just give them all Dolphins. I mean, Brady against Washington. Come on. I mean, McLaurin against Tampa Bay. I mean, that game is going to be a shootout probably. I mean, Eugene should win this game. Come on. This is not even. Are you really going to just leave? What are you taking a piss right now? You're going to make. I have one guy asleep. I got one guy. I mean, like, first of all, it takes you like 2 days to get on to the stupid podcast so I can do this.
I had to turn something off. What are you talking about?
Meanwhile, I'm being harassed the entire week to do this stupid thing. Now you're leaving. I just got to talk the whole time. I think Eugene wins this game. I don't see any reason not to. I mean, like maybe the projection will go up if Lombardi, who doesn't watch football, he got very testy with me today because I called him a female genital part for his lack of wanting to watch football, and ooh, did he take offense?
Yeah, I missed all of that.
Well, I mean, it was not on any group that the public is in. So, but we kissed and made up. I showed him some sexy feet pictures, and he's good. So yes, I do think Eugene takes this game. In fact, this may be my lock of the week.
Ooh, the lock of the week candidate.
I mean, we're already there. All right. So, well, I mean, we're there. I mean, that's it. I mean, well, first of all, who do you pick in this game?
I would take Eugene.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So now we can move on to your upset of the week and the lock of the week.
Well, obviously, yeah, this is Eugene. There's no way he loses this one. This is definitely the lock of the week.
Right.
The upset of the week. Well, it's tight, but I'm gonna go with myself over Zamunda. I still believe in this team, and we will rebound.
We will rally around somebody and play good football.
We will rally around some piece of trash that we find in the dumpster and play good football.
I can go with that. I mean, I think technically Gronky Kong with his current composition would be an upset of the week, though he's not playing anybody. But I mean, I don't know. That game's going to be close too. Sure. I could either go with that or I can go with you. But yeah, that would be my 2 as it is. All right. We survived this week. Hopefully they can stop riding our nuts as we give them a podcast. Anything else?
No, that's it. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, that's it. Hope you have a good week. See you next week.
Good luck, everyone. Mr. Friedman, wake up.
Yeah, and everybody else, good luck.
Yep.
All right, bye.
Peace out.